Welcome to
The Caitlin Show!
Good morning, everyone. So, today we have our guest, George Milton, who's currently awaiting trial for the murder of his best friend, Lenny Small. And so, George is here to share with us a very moving and special tale that will really touch all of you at home and in the studio audience. So, welcome to George Milton! Woo, woo, woo! Hey there, George. So, let me start by saying I'm terribly sorry for the loss of your best friend, Lenny Small. So, can you tell me how you're coping with all of this?
Well, how would anyone who just lost their best friend cope with? I mean, just shot him back of the head. How am I supposed to feel?
So, tell me, George, what was that day like for you?
Well, it was Sunday, so me and the guys didn't have work, so we were out playing horseshoes. I almost won the $4 too. Those $4 would have been good for me and Lenny's steak. He was in the barn. So, a couple minutes into the game, Candy came out and told me I need to see something. So I went to the barn. There was a dead woman laying right there in the hay.
Do you know who the woman was?
It was the boss's daughter-in-law, Carly's wife.
Alright, we'll continue this conversation after this commercial break! This is a message from the Carrie Reinstein Attorney Office.
Our clients expect a high level of performance and a high level of results.
And we are not about to let our clients down under any circumstances.
Under any circumstances. If you or a loved one have ever lost a hand, you may be entitled to a cash settlement.
With over 30 years of experience, we've been helping our clients who got injured through no fault of their own get what they deserve.
Which is something I absolutely agree is worth fighting for. We're fighting for you.
Welcome back to all you viewers at home. George Milton here just explained to us that he found the dead body of Curly's wife laying in the barn. Who is Curly?
Curly's the boss's son. He's not a very friendly guy. Gave me and Lenny a load of trouble.
What's that?
Well, Curly's kind of a small guy, so I guess he felt threatened by Lenny's size. Lenny was huge. Pretty much my opposite.
Wait, George, what did you do when you saw Curly's wife laying there, dead on the ground?
We figured it was Lenny because, well, he tends to destroy or kill anything he can touch.
Tell us more.
His Aunt Clara used to give him mice to pet. He always liked the way they felt real soft and smooth. Lenny, he was really big, so he'd end up killing them just by petting them.
Wait, Lenny was about your age, right?
Yes, ma'am, he was.
So, here's a question I'm sure many in the studio audience and the viewers at home are wondering. How can a grown man not know his own strength?
Lenny wasn't a bright guy. Always getting us into trouble and stuff.
What sort of trouble are you talking about?
Back in Weed, there was this girl, and she had a real nice, pretty dress on. And Lenny just wanted to touch that dress. So, tried to feel it. The girl, she kind of got scared. So, and when Lenny gets scared, he tends to grab onto things, like he holds on more tightly. So, he was grabbing on tightly, and she started screaming and screaming, but he wouldn't let go. So, I guess later, the girl went around saying she'd been raped. Of course, which wasn't true though, because Lenny's a really friendly guy. He would never do that.
So wait, George. If Lenny got in trouble so much, what made you stick around him?
I told his Aunt Claire I'd look after him. To tell you the truth though, I used to have a lot of fun messing with that kid. He was so dumb, he didn't even realize a joke being played on him. He'd do anything, any damn thing I'd tell him to do. One day, me and a bunch of guys were standing up on the Sacramento River. He was feeling pretty smart. So I told him to jump in. And he jumped in. Thing was, guy couldn't even swim. So I had to pull him out, and ever since then, I never messed with him again. Felt too bad.
That was very touching, George. We'll continue this after this commercial break.
I'm walking on sunshine. Oh, it don't feel good.
Welcome back, viewers. So I'm here with George Milton, who's sharing with us his amazing and extremely touching story about his late friend Lenny Small. So George, tell us what happened after you found the body of Curly's wife.
Candy told me to go out of the barn and pretend like I ain't seen nothing yet because, I mean, me and Lenny, we travel. We're always together, so people would probably think I was in on it. So I went out of the barn, and a little while after, Candy called everyone back into the barn to see Curly's wife. So we went back into the barn. Curly was real mad. So everyone went out searching for Lenny because he wasn't nowhere around. I already knew where he'd be. Before we got to the ranch, I told Lenny to, if he ever got into any trouble, to wait for me in this brush that we camped out at before we got to the ranch. So I told him, if you got into any trouble, you go hide there. So I knew where he'd be.
Is that where it happened? Where you shot him?
Yes, ma'am, it was. Ain't it funny, though, how the brush was supposed to be a safe place for us, but it's where he died, where I shot him.
I'm very sorry. That must have been so hard for you.
Yeah. I just shot him right in the back of the head. He was dead. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Can you answer some questions from the studio audience after this commercial break?
Sure, why not?
Here are a few images of the brutal murder of Curly's wife.